That's what time period?
1670.
So most children probably made.
Okay.
Yes, yes. A lot of it was like, oh, he saw this in a play.
Just not doing the fast time.
Yeah, and it's always great when history is written 200 to 300 years after actual events, and then someone decides to write more about it another 200 or 300 years later, and there's no empirical evidence. And I get it. In a time frame, they just didn't have.
So a lot of this, so like I got a version of it with footnotes, and the footnotes would be like, so he's actually talking about some like Hungarian guy that was like 5 years earlier, and just comparing it to like something that you think happened in history, but really it's just like this propaganda about this Hungarian guy being like terrible friends or whatever.
Yeah, as much as we do that today, they totally did it back then too.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make up some stuff. And I was just listening to, I got this podcast I listened to called, shoot, why did I just lose the name? Yeah, anyway, Our Fake History. It's by this Canadian. And he was just,
Got caught.
tries to go in and either debunk or like, oh, this is true, that kind of thing. Or just tell a good story, because it's like, you got to hear this story, right? You know, Edgar Allan Poe was a what did they call him back then? A humbugger? So he would write stuff like in the papers and things that were totally made up. Like at the time there was a big time for science, right? But some of it was pseudoscience. He made up this whole thing about people going to the moon. and it causes these like, because it's like things
He
are
was the misinformation and fake news.
yeah.
I got
Him and there were a bunch of people that did it back then. I didn't know Poe was like a premier American poet and story writer. Like was fond of making up these totally false things, making it sound real wordy, so it's like, well, it must be true.
Right.
You know?
Like Dr. Seuss used to be a political cartoonist that got banned from like newspapers, and so he ended up going and writing children's books. So like they say, Quarantine Here's a Who is actually about like anti-abortion stuff.
No, I'm sure that he probably found a way to put it in, much like Looney Tunes. There's a lot of adult content in Looney Tunes that isn't offensive, but certainly only makes adults laugh. The kids don't.
It's like the Lorax is about environmental stuff.
I was going
But they,
the
my high school used to have around the world day, and it used to be a bunch of like different things that you went and did. And at the time, you were supposed to get the things you wanted, and somehow I got into a thing on anti-abortion.
Oh.
We're on the same side.
We're on the same side. Anti-abortion things for the person who is.
Whoa.
The wrong person you'll ever meet.
You got my
Yeah. But sometimes it's good to know the other side.
Yeah.
Not nothing. We're talking over here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Your Excellency.
I really love reading the foreword that Martelli writes because it's so like obviously not a real history. And then the footnotes explain like, yeah, this is like a reference to some like political drama in Italy.
She should be kicking it out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. So you can just give this to me, or you can just hold it.
Yeah, hold it now. Yeah.
Or you can.
We don't want you to get hurt.
You can throw it over here at me. It's fine, but not.
Sure. Okay.
This is the last time my lungs have felt in like a week and a half.
Yeah, you can give that to me. You can throw it away. You can hold it on your hip.
Yeah.
Options.
I thought it was farther that way.
Amazingly, she ended up like this.
Yeah.
You said hold, and I held.
But it was like perfectly.
But yeah, I really like when it's like, oh, this is like a modern history,
Right.
this political thing about just
You didn't pay attention.
this other just random dude being a
I thought it was farther that way.
because he's like talking about a senator when you're supposed to really be talking about some count. It's like, yeah, I needed that before I learned how to.
You know what he figures? I'm publishing a book. I might as well say what I want to say right now.
Yeah, he got all his hot takes in there on everything. He's like, here's the fencing offers.
You're drawing my everything going.
Here's the ones that suck.
I thought it was as I was.
Here's all my thoughts on politics.
Oh,
Here's all my thoughts on history.
But you didn't
And,
grab something.
I didn't grab
By the way,
something.
here's how you fight.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, here's how to fight. If anybody disagrees with anything in this book, here's my school where I'm at. Come fight me. I will kill you.
Where are you finding your like disses? Like I've been trying to like look
There's a great website called Wiktenauer that.
now. Okay.
Yeah, Wiktenauer has all the like
Wait a
standard.
minute. Like Wiki and Lichtenauer?
Yes.
We smash them together, we call it
Wiktenauer. So, yes.
That's
Because
good.
like
It is very good. It has a lot of free translations and scans of books, and then I do have copies of certain books that are
Open up
either
one
the
door.
translation I'm not a fan of, or
That way,
they're just not available.
Only when you stop.
For free. There's some also other ones. I've been just collecting all the like translations that are free but not on Wiktenauer, so I can send those in Discord if you'd like.
I'm working on slowly starting to transition over to Destreza a little bit.
That's something I haven't touched at all.
Well, also Warder Laz, that is his specialty, and he's like,
I think you just bounced like
I'm actually, so what I study primarily for the Rapier dagger is Neapolitan fencing, which is super similar to late period Destreza, because it all sort of is very similar. Because Neapolitan fencing is like 16th, 17th, and then late period Destreza kind of stops at the 17th, 20th, so there's not a whole lot of technical differences in like terms of the weapons they're using and such. So it sort of came to similar-ish conclusions.
but Laz is like, yeah, you should start learning Destreza because it's super similar to ballet. You also see it in the Nutcracker.
I suppose I would say it
The ones that run on the
depends on the Destreza.
His, what,
Not all Destreza is equal.
the Destreza that he's been studying is like uber similar to ballet. The Nutcracker sword fighting ballet.
Late period Destreza is early Destreza is kind of whack, but that's just me.
Well, like this is his stance, and I'm like, this is ballet. I could easily back up in this Destreza position.
I am. I mean, perfect. Like the Rosetta, I oftentimes, if it's a tournament, it's gonna be because I don't want to.
Yeah. That's too good.
Yeah. Like, so like I can't like reasonably either balance correctly or have this not in your way.
Yeah.
Sorry, like
That is one reason why I like fighting my sword with hands. Which I am trying to put a class together to maybe teach how to do swim.
I think I'm gonna just fight single sword in tournaments for a bit here because weirdly enough, it's super effective. Who would have guessed?
Well, because everyone fights all the other styles. I'm like,
When you narrow down like, your options, you stop doing maybe the silly things you know you shouldn't.
yeah, I'm like, it's like sword and dagger is probably like my least favorite, but like case, sword and hand, and like longsword are the things I like fighting. And like single sword, I could go neither here nor there anymore.
I do like me some single sword.
But like all longsword is a single sword with two hands and a bigger blade.
I would say depends. Depends what you're doing with it.
All right.